If you're in a long-distance relationship, you know that it isn't going to work. If it feels like it's working, it's only because you still remember what it's like to actually be with them. But eventually, one of you will forget, and you'll become nothing more than a mosquito buzzing around in the person's pocket. They've probably already cheated on you, and if they haven't, they've already met the person they're trying not to with. You're either pretending it has a chance because you're not emotionally equipped to deal with your life alone, or you can't accept the fact that the other person doesn't love you enough to be with you. Save your dignity and end it because you are wasting your life. Here's how I got my partner to start taking out the garbage. I wrote a fake letter, clearly addressed to them. I tore the paper so it looked like I had ripped the letter up. But I made sure the first piece of the letter included enough to work as bait so they can be enticed enough to find the rest of the letter. I hid the second piece of the letter under the garbage bag, and I ripped the bag before putting it back in. The goal was that they would take the bag out to search for the rest of the letter, and all the garbage would spill out, forcing them to take it out to the dumpster. Now, every time the garbage is full, I do this again. Stop applying for jobs online. You're not going to get it. We only posted the job online because we have to. We are required by law to advertise jobs to a certain amount of people. We're just going to hire somebody that we know, or somebody that already works here. But legally, we have to seem like we're not going to do that. The reason you're not hearing anything back is because your application is sitting in somebody's spam folder. Your friends and family are going to get you a job, not the internet. No one likes you. When you're around, everyone exchanges knowing glances at each other behind your back. This is because you are so annoying it's become an inside joke. When you leave, the tension deflates from the room because everyone can finally have a good time. The only reason you were invited in the first place is because no one could find a way to get out of it. Everyone in your life has desperately tried to create a fake reality for you where they pretend they like you so you can go away quicker. And you will never find out because there's nothing that you can ever change to make yourself bearable. Spending Thanksgiving with my partner's family. Here's how I make sure they're gonna like me. I agree to make some stupid dish that doesn't matter. I'm putting the dish in a container that I rigged to buckle when I hand it to someone. This will shift the power dynamic in my favor because they will feel bad for spilling the dish that I worked hard on. This also gives me a good opportunity to show what a great guy I am when I forgive them for spilling it and help them clean it up. Here's how you can get away with snooping on your partner's phone. Coincidentally, buy the exact same phone cases of them. This way, you can read the notifications, then play it off like you thought it was your phone. If they have a really specific phone case that would make this too obvious, all you have to do is get a phone case that has generally the same color placement and looks the same in peripheral vision. Here's how I make sure my partner doesn't cheat on me. My partner thinks that I have a psycho ex who's stalking me. In reality, it's me pretending to stalk myself, so whenever I get suspicious... You got any plans tonight? Yeah, I think I'm gonna go around tonight at 8. Cool, when will you be back? 10, probably. I have my stalker resurface. Ah! Well, what does it say? Well, at least we'll both be here. Oh, wait! I can stay, I don't have to go out tonight. Yay! I'm garbage. I had a purpose once. But I was thrown away, used. Now my only purpose is waiting for time to pass, until I decay into nothing. So until then, I'm sorry I'm here. Human beings do not need love. Love is a highly addictive drug that society has normalized. Like any other drug, love releases dopamine, so when we stop taking it, it releases withdrawal symptoms. Can you think of a time where your partner slowly grew more and more distant and strung you along until they eventually felt nothing? Your partner was actually doing the right thing. It's called tapering. Rather than quitting a drug cold turkey, you slowly take smaller and smaller doses to allow your brain to adjust. This is why in every breakup, there's always one person who is devastated and the other person couldn't care less. One of them got proper addiction therapy. Maybe they even cheated on you or found someone else to make the breakup easier. Again, this is still doing the right thing. It's another form of addiction therapy where you receive therapeutic doses of a different drug. The best things that we should do for ourselves is completely detox from love and live a normal, fulfilling life of sobriety. The cravings may never go away, and you'll probably have to change your lifestyle to avoid triggers. But over time, you will develop the fortitude to live your life without the drug, and you will find that the rest of your life becomes all the more meaningful. When my partner goes out for the night without me, I always pretend it doesn't bother me, then sit at home and seethe with jealous rage. Until I came up with a solution. While they're gone, I stage our home so it looks like someone else came over. This way, when my partner comes home and sees the clues, they feel just as jealous as they made me. Doing this has helped me manage my anxiety and be less insecure in my relationship. Here's how I get my partner to do all the housework. Every time I come home, I carry a grocery bag with me. The bag itself is just filled with rocks. Every time I leave, I carry the rocks back out with a garbage bag. I know what you're thinking. Don't they ask what's in the bag? No, because I always say something emotionally charged to distract them. This way, they only register the bag subconsciously. Over time, they will subconsciously perceive me as being helpful. This perception will make them feel guilty about how much they help, when in all reality, they're the ones who are doing the actual work. I'm doing a little experiment on a friend of mine when I go out of town this weekend. I asked them to cat sit for 3 days, but I left out one very important detail. I don't have a cat. I just bought some cat food in some random bowl. And I'm going to take the screen out of one of my windows, leave it wide open enough so it looks like a cat could fit through it. I also told them that I'm not going to pay them, so they have no incentive to do a good job. I want to find out how long it takes for my friend to realize the cat's not there, deduce it might have gone out the window, and work up the nerve to tell me about it. I will keep you updated. Everybody is manipulative to some degree. Being a good person isn't the same as being a good dictionary. And what I mean by that is, a lot of people think because they learned a new word, they think they've done some kind of self-improvement. But the people you have to look out for the most are the ones who try and understand what you're feeling and think they understand what you're feeling better than you do, simply because they feel like it. Manipulation isn't necessarily a bad thing. All it means is you're trying to make someone feel something because you're trying to make someone do something. That's all it is. Every advertisement is manipulation. Every movie is manipulation. Every book is manipulation. Everything is manipulation. Without manipulation, we couldn't live our lives. Of course, some forms of manipulation are more harmful than others, but just because you think someone is doing something bad doesn't automatically make you a good person. Being a truly good person requires self-improvement, and self-improvement requires living. Recently, I did something that was kind of bad. My current girlfriend and I just started dating last month, but we've known each other for years. One of the first things she opened up to me about was that she never knew her father because he left when she was a baby and all she had were a few pictures. One day, while she was in the bathroom, I snuck a picture of those pictures on my phone, and I used an app to make him look like the age he would be now. This is because I wanted to set up an Instagram account as her dad now. I set up the account and asked if she wanted to reconnect with me. I've been messaging her from this account for 6 years, having deep conversations about my interests and my personal values. My goal was that this would eventually cause her to psychologically fall in love with the actual me, because of how similar I seem to her dad. It completely worked until 2 weeks ago. I was checking her mail and saw that she received an invitation to her actual father's funeral. I threw the invitation straight in the dumpster and took her on a surprise camping trip to Yosemite. This way, she wouldn't get any cell reception until the funeral services were over, and if any of her family members tried to contact her asking why she wasn't there, it wouldn't go through. Then at the end of the trip, I realized that she would just get all the messages at once when she had cell service again. So, I threw her phone off a cliff and pretended it was a misguided attempt at a practical joke. The problem is, she freaked out about it. She's threatening to make me pay for the cost of the phone and threatening to break up with me. I'm looking for any suggestions you have for me to get out of paying for the phone and to get her to forgive me. I would really, really appreciate your help. Partner goes to therapy every week, but they're usually in a good mood during the actual session. They usually never have anything to talk about, and it's only afterwards where they start to spiral out of control and realize some things that they wish they had said during therapy. But I realize there's a way that I can help with this. Every time they are on their way to therapy, I try to induce them into a spiral. This way, they can actually get their money's worth. Here's how I get my partner to calm down when they're really mad at me. When they're really mad and they're yelling at me and they're super duper heated, I look at them in the eye and I say, calm down. Saying this phrase will help them calm down and help their nervous system go from here to down here. It will ultimately improve your relationship and make it a lot better and more healthier for you. Take my advice, it works wonders. Here's how I make my partner love me more. Whenever I go out of town, I secretly replace all the coffee in our house with decaf. This makes them depressed, irritable, and agitated. These symptoms are exactly how I want them to feel while I'm gone. Whenever I come home, I replace it back to normal, making them feel good again. They will think the reason they felt terrible was because I was not there. How do you stop negative self-talk? The best way that I found to stop negative self-talk is to write notes for your future self that are mean. Lean into the negative self-talk and see where it goes. Then you might find out that the negative self-talk does come from a place of love. Hurt people hurt people.
This city used to make me feel like I could do anything. Now it just reminds me of all the things I didn't do. I miss when I thought daydreams were ambition, and insecurities were daydreams. I wish I could have known then what I know now, and still had been stupid enough to think I didn't need to know it. If I ever get to meet God, I hope He forgives me for wasting His time.
Your partner does not love you. They are a parasite who cracked your heart open and started sipping out of it to numb their own misery. Once they drank every last drop of you, they will crush you and throw you away in the garbage like the worthless human being you are. Here's how to talk to someone with ADHD. First thing you want to do is add emotional stakes to the relationship. Say, if you forget about me, if you forget about my birthday, if you don't pay attention, I'm breaking up with you. They will find this very helpful and rewarding. Here's how to get over someone fast. First step is go to the store and buy deodorant. Next, what you want to do is mix their deodorant with raw eggs and mildew. Leave it outside and let it sit out until it becomes rancid. Smell the terrible rancid deodorant. This smell will rewire your brain to get over them and be disgusted by how they smell now. That is how you get over someone very quickly. Here's a trick I have to having the perfect relationship. Once a week, I secretly steal one of my partner's socks and throw it in the dumpster. When they're all out of socks, I buy a fresh new pair. The knowledge that I'm slowly and smallly inconveniencing them in a small way that ultimately really doesn't matter helps me vent my day-to-day frustrations that I have with them. Try this at home. It works great. Here's a little trick I have to make my partner love me more. Every time before I come home, I put on this Halloween clown mask and knock on the window 3 times before running off. This makes them feel scared, alone, and isolated, not knowing what to do. It will also make them want me to be there more. That is a good way to get your partner to love you more.